Welcome back, Midnight viewers, to Father Malone's Weekly Roundup. I'm Father Malone, and sitting beside me in a one-horse open sleigh is Miss Ripley Jean. You are never going near a one-horse open sleigh. You and horses? No. It'd be like that dogs barking Jingle Bells song that we'll no doubt be hearing this month, except without the melody. Yes, it's the holiday season, so there's every possibility we'll be wall-to-wall Christmas horror movies here at the Roundup, but not this week. We're doing unconventional Christmas movies today. Your Lethal Weapons, your Long Kiss Goodnights, your Last Boy Scouts, basically anything written by Shane Black. Your Kiss Kiss Bang Bangs, your Nice Guys. Was The Predator set at Christmas? If it isn't, it should have been. You know, he gets shit for doing that, setting every movie in Los Angeles at Christmas. I think it's endlessly charming, and I guess you have to spend some time there to appreciate the artifice of it all. There's absolutely no discernible change in your surroundings, except for 1 month, all the street lights are festooned with glitter and tinsel. It's surreal and wonderful, which is a good way to introduce our first film. If I was describing it to you with total irony, this is Red One.
$497, $498, $499, $500.
Let's go heavy.
Yep.
Got it.
Looking strong, Nick.
Go on, brush your shoulders off.
Red One is on the move.
Evening, ladies. What are you so excited about? Of course, your boyfriend's here.
Okay. Who's with Red? Reach!
Someone took Nick. We're gonna find him.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the best tracker in the world.
The guy's a legend.
What am I doing here?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted from the North Pole complex.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Garcia?
What the hell?
You can't trust this guy. He's on the list.
You don't mean...
Yes, that list. NL4.
Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister?
A level 4 naughty lister?
Oh, is that funny to you?
You're gonna help us find Nick.
Come on, let's go. There is much in here that is not of the natural world.
Who's that?
Krampus.
What are they doing?
They're playing crappish slop.
I think if you don't need me here, I might just go back to the car.
We need to prepare for the possibility of no Christmas.
There's worse ways to go out than trying to save Santa Claus.
Last week, I bemoaned spending $250 million on Gladiator 2. I take it back. That was a wise investment given the level of filmmaking going on there. Red One, a whimsical children's Christmas movie, it has to be a kid's movie. Because if it's not, then the filmmakers hate us, or at least hold us in some kind of contempt. Also cost $250 million. Elf cost $33, and they shot that in New York. But then Elf seemed to come from a place of love. You know how every year someone you know or some hacked television reporter will inform us that Christmas has become too commercialized? Red One is that sentiment in cinematic form. An incredibly bald cash grab, an attempt at a franchise. Our first clue should have been the author, Chris Morgan, the mad bastard behind the Fast and the Furious films. You don't hire him for a standalone, though that would be a subtle hint. The big Klieg light of a hint is that anything with Dwayne Johnson in it is an attempt at a franchise. So here's the plot. Kris Kringle help us all. Santa is real, he's got a bodyguard, he gets kidnapped, bodyguard turns to a regular human who hates Christmas but is a hell of a tracker to find him. Guess what happens? Well, before Captain America can figure out that Christmas is magic thanks to Black Adam, we have to visit all the other holiday folk. See, there's an organization that keeps peace between the mythological creatures, and Jesus Christ. How about it's just too foggy to deliver the presents and you need a special reindeer to do it? This is a bastardized Men in Black / Nightmare Before Christmas / Marvel film. Is Chris Morgan just a pseudonym for an AI bot? Because if you just fed in what people like about Christmas movies, out would pop this thing. What's particularly galling, aside of everything, is it was directed by Jake Kasdan. I had the highest of hopes for him as a filmmaker. Son of one of the best screenwriters, pound for pound, ever produced, Lawrence Kasdan, Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Silverado, Continental Divide is a great script. Now, I know talent isn't genetic. Although in Jason Reitman's case, I think he inherited all of his dad's talent. But Kasdan's first film is the absolutely terrific Zero Effect with Bill Pullman. It's a modern-day take on Sherlock Holmes. It's literally an adaptation of Scandal in Bohemia. But it is so odd and so fun, just absolutely bucking all nods to what a commercial film should be. An unlikable lead, a convoluted and at times completely inessential plot, a studio film that was a gentle character study. Oh man, the future looks bright for young Kasdan. And then he did Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, a film that has forever sharpened my criticism when it comes to musical biopics. And it's absolutely hilarious. You know what's not funny? Red One. Not one joke lands. I did like the polar bear. And Krampus is great. He's played by Christopher Heavejew, that crazy red-headed wildling from Game of Thrones, and he was in the prequel to The Thing. He is always great. But here's the thing. All the flights of fancy and glittering CGI cities and talking polar bears can't disguise the fact that there's not one original thing going on here. Let me describe Chris Evans' introductory scene. Now, he's a world-class mercenary, minus the military garb and training. He's hired by clandestine wealthy people to infiltrate enemies and steal secrets, which is what he's doing in the opening scene. While on his way to do that job, he goes through a Starbucks, steals a coffee, steals a newspaper, and continues to the job. Ooh, he's slick, we're meant to think. He's a real troublemaker, this one. What if there was a cop in that Starbucks? Even if he's slick, even if he can talk his way out of it, why would he seek the attention on his way to a highly illegal job that he's being paid no doubt hundreds of thousands of dollars to do? And it's not like he's reckless this way at any other point in the film. It's just boring shorthand. What's the laziest way we can show you who this guy is? This occurs immediately after, I should point out, a flashback to him as a child behaving in exactly the same fashion. A hat on a hat. $250 million. Back in '85, the Salkins, the Superman producers, they released a $30 million flop called Santa Claus, the movie. A movie, I'll note, that was originally going to be directed by John Carpenter. He got as far as casting. People thought they were nuts spending that money on that idea for a movie. And it was a flop, but it was original, and it had John Lithgow as the villain. Red One has Kiernan Shipka, an actress I still can't figure out if she's any good, or if I just remember her fondly from Mad Men. Gee, I want to say something really positive about Red One here. Evidently, a good $50 million of the budget was because of delays due to Dwayne Johnson. I guess anything that reduces his role in popular entertainment is a positive. On that level, I highly recommend Red One. Boy, you said it. You go next. HP, for the love of all that is tinsel, get us out of here.
Come and listen to a dog that's hip. Here we go, it's Ribs Picks, yeah!
That's right, HP. And right after this, the lovely Darlene Love is stopping by to sing Baby Please Come Home. What do you have for us, Rip? Wow, that's a Christmas movie? Yeah, you're right. Holy shit. Speaking of terrible movies, this is Cobra.
Society is breeding a new kind of criminal. It's also breeding a new kind of cop. Meet Cobra. He does the job nobody wants.
Did you use unnecessary deadly force?
I used everything I had.
You know you have an attitude problem?
Yeah, but it's just a little one. You think you would recognize me if you saw me again?
The tall one?
Yeah. The one that wants to kill you.
Do what you have to do to get a lead on this maniac.
And if I find him?
Do what you do best.
Stallone is Cobra, the strong arm of the law.
Crime is
disease. He's the cure. Late in 1985, I went to a creation convention. You used to refer to sci-fi conventions by who was putting it on. Back in the day, that meant creation. When a convention was a little more pointed, like Star Trek or Doctor Who, they would probably call them one of those, but they were still being put on by creation. Anyway, late in 85, I had become friendly with a bunch of poster dealers, and one of them pulled me aside because he had a brand new one-sheet for a film that wouldn't be coming out until the following year. My 12-year-old heart nearly exploded when he pulled out that red and black image of sunglassed and matchsticked Sly Stallone with some high-tech looking machine pistol in his hand with a laser sight. I bought it that day and I hung it on my wall. Until May 25th, 1986. That's when I saw the film. I took the poster down that afternoon. If someone were to ask for a time capsule selection of the platonic ideal of an 80s action film, you'd probably put in Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, anything by Joel Silver, really. But I suggest that those movies were the exceptions to the rule. The majority of 80s action, big, dumb, self-important, self-serious, could be represented best by Cobra. Marion Cobretti. He's the top dog of the zombie squad. The man you call when there's no one left to call. He sits around the house in mirrored shades and leather driving gloves, eating cold pizza that he's cutting into tinier slices with a pair of scissors and watching Toys R Us commercials. This happens in the movie, and it is my favorite fucking scene. So Cobretti, that's a made-up surname. Sly Stallone made up that name so he could have the nickname Cobra legitimately. Cobra is the baddest of badasses. He's monosyllabic. He's not afraid to kill a suspect and knock out a journalist for asking him if that was necessary. He has no time for pencil pushers or due process. He's a man. This is Dirty Harry for morons. I mean that lovingly. That film, Dirty Harry, got criticized at the time for lionizing the rogue cop, but that movie is more complex than that. Harry's actions cause him to quit the force at the end. No one remembers that because there were sequels to be made, but the moral ambiguity was there, and it is at play. Actions have consequences and result in a feeling of hopelessness, certainly not joy. Remember Callahan's speech to the bank robber?
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
For all its seeming badassery, it's a joke between cop and criminal. He knew how many bullets were in the gun. Contrast that with Cobra as he confronts a killer.
Hey, just relax, amigo. You want to talk? We'll talk. I'm a sucker for good conversation.
I don't want to talk to you. Now you bring in the television cameras in here now. Come on, bring it in.
Can't do that.
Why?
I don't deal with psychos. I put them away.
I ain't no psycho, man.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Another movie you could put in a time capsule is Beverly Hills Cop. Great flick. A movie that would, in many ways, signal the death knell of films like Cobra. Beverly Hills Cop proved that you didn't need a slab of granite as your action protagonist. You could have a witty, fun character and still provide gritty, visceral action. Which is amusing because a couple of years prior to Cobra, Sylvester Stallone was offered Beverly Hills Cop. And he accepted. Did a draft of the screenplay where Axel Foley became, are you ready? Axel Cobretti. That's right, Cobra, taking down the stuffed shirts and privileged of Beverly Hills. Now, I wouldn't say Stallone had a character in his head in search of a screenplay, but here's the thing. He didn't go off and write his own movie featuring Cobra. Instead, he got the rights to a novel called A Running Duck by Paula Gosling, which he adapted, turning its lead character, Mike Malchek, a Vietnam-era sniper and now cop, into Marion Cobretti. His name's Marion, so Sly can let you know that he's comfortable with his feminine side. Incidentally, that book, A Running Duck, would be renamed Fair Game, and then that would be made into another film of the same name, which starred Cindy Crawford and Billy Baldwin. So, the film follows Ingrid Knudsen, a model played by Brigitte Nielsen in a Harpo Marx wig, as she witnesses a murder and has to be protected by Cobretti and his partner Gonzalez. Incidentally, Gonzalez is played by Rene Santoni, who we talk about a lot here on the Roundup. We talked about him during the Clue episode. He played Poppy on Seinfeld. He's here along with Andrew Robinson to subtly remind us that Dirty Harry was a good movie, so this must be a good movie too. That's right, both of those guys are in Dirty Harry. The villain is played by Brian Thompson. I think most people would recognize him as the alien bounty hunter from the X-Files or Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat, though for me, he is forever and always the spandex-clad, also Harpo Marx-wigged helicopter pilot from the climax of the great film Miracle Mile, a movie we are going to definitely be covering at some point. Brian Thompson heads a group called the New World, where they all get together and clang axes rhythmically before going out and committing really clumsy murders. I don't know why they needed the top guy from the Zombie Squad. It seems if you just put a plainclothes female officer by herself on literally any street, these fools are going to show up. I mean, Brigitte Nielsen is driving toward the murder scene, and Brian Thompson takes off his pantyhose mask, walks to the center of the street, and looks directly in her face. This is their leader. Oh boy. I know Brigitte and Sly were married during the filming of this, and I gotta say, I'm shocked they're not still together. Sparks are flying. Down at the sparkler factory that does not appear in this movie. Guess what? I am recommending this movie overall, as much as Ripley is. Oh, stop. We agree more than we don't. This is the dumbest of dumb action movies. Sure, there are plenty of examples of action films that are poorly made on top of everything else and can function on the level of kitsch, but for pure, unadulterated campiness, you have to go to a film with a budget of $30 million. $30 million in 85. Raiders of the Lost Ark cost $20 2 years prior, and that was set in the 30s. Remember that shot of the sun coming up and they're digging and Indy pulls on his hat and they're all burning hot silhouettes? God, that was beautiful. Cobra does have one actual piece of beauty in it. I'm not a car guy, but even I will admit the sheer gorgeosity of Cobra's ride. It's a 50 Mercury lead sled, apparently Mr. Stallone's own vehicle. When they started smashing it to shit, I got really upset. I know they made stunt cars, but it's just irresponsible showing something so beautiful beaten so badly. Fuck you, Tyler Durden. My turn. Unconventional Christmas pick. It's Better Off Dead.
Does it ever feel like everyone's got more going than you do? Oops. That everyone is smart.
So you're Al Myers' kid?
Yes, I am.
You look pretty stupid to me.
Thank you.
You say the best skier in town just ran off with your girlfriend? Even your younger brother does better than you do? And that nobody even cares?
Beth broke up with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, you might be right. But remember one thing.
I haven't even been to New York City.
Nobody was ever better off dead.
The truth is, I could outski you any day of the week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want a race? I'll take you on any day, sucker.
Go that way, really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
All you need is guts.
All right, now turn.
I'm gonna race, I'm gonna lose, and I'm gonna die in that order.
Go.
And you'll never doubt yourself again.
He's skiing on one ski.
Better off dead.
That's a real shame when folks be throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that.
An abnormal look at a normal teenager.
Just as Cobra was Dirty Harry for dum-dums, Better Off Dead is Harold and Maude for fans of Mad Magazine. This came out the same year I got that Cobra poster. I am the audience for this. I'm sure you were too if you're listening, Midnight viewers. Just like the next year, I was the target for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And there are some parallels, not least of which is E.G. Daly. She's Dottie in Pee-wee's Big Adventure and appears here as the singer at the dance singing the title song. Is there anyone who doesn't love her? Did you see Valley Girl? But the tone is even more of what I'm getting at. This film and Pee-wee seem to signal not necessarily a wave of like-minded filmmakers, but at least an opening into the studio system for those not necessarily interested in the types of films being targeted at us. You know, the John Hughes of it all. Kids thought they related to John Hughes movies because he was giving adult voice to teenagers' wildly unfocused burst of changing body and personality, but it was a lie. No one talked like that. Name one motherfucker who ever said Zoom dweeby to you. I'm not saying anything in Better Off Dead represents reality in any way, but man, it does feel like being a teenager, the surreality included. The stop-motion hamburgers voiced by David Lee Roth. The Howard Cosell voiced competitor in a daily drag race. That girl dating the basketball team. This is a weird one, and kind of a marvel that it got made. So, Lane Meyer is dumped by a girl, the luminous Amanda Wyss. I once had a conversation about nothing at all with her in a casting agent's office back in the mid-90s, and the entire time, my mind was screaming, "It's Tina! That girl that appears in all your nightmares because of that fucking sequence in Nightmare on Elm Street." It was really hard to keep it together. Then, Lane spends the rest of the movie attempting to kill himself. I love this movie. This is going to sound like sacrilege, but this movie does have one aspect that is stronger than Harold and Maude. Harold is just pretending. Lane wants to do it. Intention matters, and because of that intent, everything around Lane is necessarily heightened. Your mom's cooking is bad? Check out the tentacle monstrosity Lane's mom is whipping up. Sincerely, on rewatch, I found myself looking away during her meal presentations. And there are a lot of them. Way more than I remembered. And they are nauseating. That's Kim Darby as the mom. I think most would know her from this, but you want to check her out in True Grit. That's the original with John Wayne. She's young Maddie in it, and she's fucking amazing. Oh, I guess this is becoming a bit on the show. Actors with their voices replaced. We had Renee Santoni replacing Lee Ving's voice as Mr. Body in Clue, and in this movie, that persistent newspaper boy... You just heard it in your head. I didn't even need to cut in the clip. Well, that kid, Damian Slade, he doesn't sound like that. The voice berating John Cusack for $2 belongs to Yano Anaya. Speaking of Christmas movies, he plays Grover Dill in A Christmas Story. Scott Farkus's evil toady. All the Christmas entertainments are colliding. There is so much of this movie that lives in my brain. Curtis Armstrong's top-hatted advice.
Lane, I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy. I know high school girls.
Diane Franklin's advice.
Kiki's ass.
I totally believe she was a French actress. Man, E.G. Daly, Amanda Wyss, Diane Franklin, hell, Brigitte Nielsen. Just a cavalcade of formative attraction on this week's Roundup. I'd be curious to hear what younger folk have to say about this film. Actually, if you've never seen this film and watch it, then drop me a line. Email address is in the description. If you haven't seen it in a while, give it a watch and also drop me a line. I'm curious if you think it held up. I think it did. It even reaffirmed a theory of mine. Rich Little never sounded like anyone he was impersonating. He's doing the Howard Cosell voice here, and he does not sound like Howard Cosell.
It's an awesome spectacle, an audacious display of seething opponents.
Word has it that upon seeing the film, while in the middle of filming another movie with director Savage Steve Holland, well, here, I'll just read you what Savage Steve had to say in an interview with The Sneeze back in 2004. So we're all watching the Better Off Dead screening that night, and John walked out of the movie. About 20 minutes into it, he walked out and he never came back. The next morning, he basically walked up to me and was like, "You know, you tricked me. Better Off Dead was the worst thing I have ever seen. I will never trust you as a director again, so don't speak to me." And I said, "What happened? What's wrong?" And he just said that I sucked and it was the worst thing he had ever seen and that I had used him and made a fool out of him and all this other stuff. And I was just stunned because it was funny as shit and he was great in it and he was helping me edit it through the summer. It was sort of like the breakup that I made Better Off Dead about. It was so out of left field that it just floored me. And he was at dailies every night, too. I feel like I let him down, and it totally surprises me so much because I have to say the most important person to me about that movie was John. I really wanted him to love it as much as I loved it. And once he said all that stuff, it was like a girlfriend who breaks up with you. You can't fight with her. It's like everything is so great, and then they say I hate you out of nowhere. There's really no argument you can have. I had my heart broken. That was the second time my heart was broken since that girl that Better Off Dead was about, honest to God. I have a solution. Are you listening, you franchise-obsessed studios? This one is a gimme. Same lead actor. Hire Savage Steve Holland to write and direct a new hot tub time machine starring John Cusack. This will feature Lane Meyer going back into Better Off Dead. I not only give you this idea for free, I will pay you for the final product. Probably multiple times. How often do you get an offer like that? Who's offering you that? Get out of here. We are getting out of here. Merry Xmas midnight viewers. You may now return to your Hallmark channels and your Rankins on basses. I will leave you with this bit of holiday advice. If you watch a movie on that holiday, it's now a holiday movie. Fuck everyone else's opinion. No, not yours. Check out Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast this Thursday. We're taking a look at Tales from the Dark Side Season 2. Those are the episodes The Shrine and The Old Soft Shoe. Those are a blast. If you want to support Midnight Viewing financially, go over to patreon.com/Father Malone. Subscribers get episodes early and commercial-free, and we've got a subscriber-only series coming up soon featuring early cable television's attempt at filming stage productions. Oh, it's a gas. That series features this show's composer, HP. You'll find links to all of his stuff in the description as well. Special hello to all of our UK listeners. We've had an uptick in listenership across the Atlantic. Blackwood, that's in Wales. How cold is it in Barnsley right now? I see you, Barnsley. Also, I don't know what's going on at Canary Wharf, but I want in. That's gonna do it. We rounded it up again and again. Gonna leave you with a few words from Better Off Dead.
This is fabulous liqueur.
Reminds me of the moonshine Ricky's dead pappy used to make.
God bless him.
Mrs. Smith, no, wait!
Gee, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky.
Just